After claiming these conversion stones, it got me thinking, how will this affect me, the other players, and how will we move on forward with formation? So I got 10 of these, and you're gonna see it's not a lot. And to get another 10 is gonna take me a long time as a free to play. And I'm trying to find the uses for it. And if we go by our troop types and the direction they're headed in, I think we can start off with infantry, because infantry is the most clear one, followed by cavalry and then archers. So infantry, as we know, has been renamed to pretty much smite, with the addition of the smite talentry and the smite commanders in William Wallace, Liuche, Gorgo, and I would even say Alex to a degree. So going for smite requires you to go and invest into arch formation. And arch formation is basically just 5% more smite damage. And we got the Ragnar added recently, a couple of months back, into the game, and Ragnar is a skill damage commander, and it doesn't really fit the meta at this moment in time. And I did make a video about how he was a trap, and it might be true, because what happens if the next infantry, which is the 10th generation infantry, what happens if both commanders are smite? Well, in that position, you will have more smite commanders to choose from. You can have William Wallace, you can have Liuche, you can have Alex, and you can have that new smite commander. You could make 2 smite pairings pretty much out of the gate, I think. And where does that leave you with your wedge infantry? So if you got Guan like me, or if you got Ragnar paired with Scipio, where do you go from here? Well, in my case, if the new infantry is smite, I will simply switch this wedge set to arch. I think it's a no-brainer if it comes to that. But let's say if they go for something like they're gonna add in a skill damage field commander, but the garrison, which we're gonna assume is gonna be garrison infantry, is gonna be smite. What do you do then? Well, in that case, you could stick around if you have Ragnar Scipio, if you have the wedge infantry, and if you have Guan to an extent, but in that case, you'll probably want to upgrade Guan to the Ragnar. So I think that's infantry. I think it's the most straightforward one. And to cut it short, if the next infantry release is smite, you simply get rid of the wedge, I think. Because even with Scipio, you can use something like Scipio Liuche, and then use William Wallace with the new smite commander, and it will work probably great. And even though Scipio is a skill damage commander, he's still very good as an option. As we know with Liuche, it's a great combination. But now, moving forward with Cavalry, which is the current meta, this is also getting interesting, because so far it's all been about skill damage. Wedge has been the no-brainer, and some people worked on arch, if you're working on the Tilla, for example, but for the most part it's been wedge. And with the addition of King Arthur's son in the game, which has his own combo talent tree, we can sense a pattern here similar to smite. And at this point in time, I think he would be best used as a secondary where all the skill damage bonuses apply. But if the second cavalry commander is combo, which is the rally commander, I think it might be a high chance of that happening. So if you got 2 combo commanders already in the game, should you make the switch to combo right away? I think if you're a fielder who's just really just for field fighting, I think you should stay longer with wedge and wait for the next cavalry cycle to switch to combo, because the next cavalry cycle should have another similar to Arthur, who is going to be primarily a field commander with the combo stats and possibly multiplications. So I think cavalry is in a good spot here. You can probably prepare to work on delta formation in the future, but I think for the time being, if you're only don't plan to use them as primary yet, using veg is going to be just fine. And least, or let's say last but not least, is going to be archers. And archers are in a predicament, I would say, because with the latest edition, we have true damage and healing. And to get the most beneficial results, I think we have to wait for the next cycle, which, if that happens to be another healing and true damage cycle, then you can actually have a more synergy than the current options we have right now. I think if that happens, you could consider working on circle formation or switching to circle formation if you're an archer player. But it's going to be heavily dependent on how it's going to perform, and I think veg for archers are probably the safest right now. But it could all be changed in like 6 months time, so we're gonna see how that goes. And yeah, that's how I feel about this conversion stones. I think it's gonna be a nice addition, and with the addition of the bundle, I think it's gonna be more tailored towards the people who spend. Because where is it? There it is. Because you can get a lot of these stones. I think if I'm corrected, it's around like 40 VIP, not VIP, conversion stones, which is massive. And just for an example, a special inscription costs 10 stones to switch. As you can see, I have more on my Smite March. I can show you. If you have a double inscription, one rare and one basic, it's gonna cost you, I think, 5. Yes, it's gonna cost 5. If you have a basic, it's gonna cost 1. If you only have one rare, it's gonna cost 3. And if I have a single double inscription, I don't think I do. Actually, I do. So a double inscription, just the basic one, it's gonna cost you 3. So yeah, that's quite a lot of stones from just a bundle. And as a free-to-play low spender, you probably won't get too many of these. But we're gonna see how many we're going to get in the Crusader achievements. So in next KVKs, we should have more of these achievements, which should grant us more of these stones. We're gonna see how many. But I hope it's at least over 10, 20. Because as of right now, if you're a high spender, you can basically switch pretty much very frequently compared to everyone else. So yeah, doesn't seem too balanced to me. But we're gonna see how it works. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I hope you noticed I also been making content a lot of these days. Since the start of the year, I'm trying to do more content on all types of videos. We got videos, we got shorts, we got live streams, and it's more on the way. So make sure to stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you in the next one.